I really think that, and I could be wrong. I really think that with the backlash and everything that's going on, I really think that the UK will change its mind on this catastrophic.
Well, Frank, it can't, because for all democracy stands for, you have to vote, and it voted out.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years from now, they might change their mind. I don't think they could, unless the Parliament that chooses to vote against it, then they might be able to change it. That's the only thing that's left is the House of Parliament.
Well, it's going to be a little difficult. I think it'd be easier to take a second vote and ask the people if they're willing to take a second vote. If they say, fuck off, we're going to stick to our plans. The youth in the UK are freaking out over this decision because it was not the youth that made this decision.
Absolutely. It was grandpa and grandma.
Yeah.
But I heard, Billy, and I know you're going to disagree with this, but I heard, I'm with Frank, I heard there's talk of a second referendum.
Yeah, I heard that too. I read that this morning. I heard that last night. And I think that as the nuclear fallout of this catastrophic misinformed decision, I do not blame the people who voted in the UK. I blame the politician, and he will go down in the history books as a bag of fucking wind.
David Cameron.
Not David Cameron.
Oh, you mean Boris Johnson?
The Boris Johnson's,
Okay.
Donald
Cameron
Trump's.
was the guy that didn't set it up properly, Frank.
I think he did. I agree with you. He didn't think it out, but I think that this is what I think, and Perry, I want you to chime in. I think he thought that if he got a referendum, he'd shut everybody up once and for all, got the voice of the people, voice of God, and it backfired on him because the other guy did a better PR and he had a better way to communicate his bullshit and his fear-mongering to the people who voted against him. What do you think, Perry?
I'll use the soccer analogy. When the England team loses, the manager resigns right away. Because obviously he thinks what he's doing is the right way to get his team to win. If the Prime Minister thinks he's doing the right way to basically do what he thinks is right, he does it. And then when it's not right, he resigns. It's pretty simple, right?
Well, did anyone with sound body and sound mind ever think that this Brexit thing would go the way it is? I mean, the referendum in Quebec was really close.
Never.
Really close. 52 to 48.
I would have lost that bet.
What a huge upset,
But I would have lost that bet if you would have said to me, Frank, the people of the UK are going to vote against staying in the association, in this common market. And I would have said, bullshit, never. Why would manufacturers, England's made in England is still a very strong. England is one of the biggest countries in the world for car manufacturing. Yep. England makes a lot of different things, and even their technology is very strong. I would have never thought in 100 million years that they would have opted to isolate themselves, which Hitler did, which Mussolini did. Like these were all dictator style ideology, right? Yeah. Say close your borders, keep our race pure, and we'll do business with ourselves, right? And that's not England's way. The UK is expanded all the time. They've colonized the world. Now they're anti-colonizing their business, because when you have a common market, you're colonizing your business.
And what happens? And with Boris Johnson probably going to be taking over this fall. I
think Boris Johnson is going to be tarred and feathered. He's going to be the scapegoat in this thing.
With this, Donald Trump, with the big upset in England, Donald Trump actually does have a real chance of becoming president.
No, actually, that's not what they're saying.
They're saying.
No, they're not, and I'm willing to make you a bet.
Wow.
I'll bet you, and my guys can show you that Donald Trump's popularity is going down the toilet because they're equating this guy to Donald Trump, and his decision has destroyed the marketplace. Because a lot of experts are saying if Donald Trump became president of the United States, these are a lot of experts, forget about me, the stock market in New York would go straight down the tubes. The American dollar would take a beating. Watch, it's very simple. Take a look at the U.S. dollar. When the polls for Donald Trump go up, the U.S. dollar goes down. When the polls for Donald Trump go down, the U.S. dollar goes up.
I heard the analogy with the Brexit.
Shit, Frank.
That's a fact.
Bill, with
don't
Brexit,
tell me, don't come bullshit. I'm regurgitating what experts are writing. If you want to call them the guys from Harvard and the guys from Stanford full of shit, that's fine.
That's not opportunism.
But it is opportunism because
Opportunism. All those people who are so blind to democracy, they call themselves Democrats.
Well, right now, forget about Democrats or Republican. What's gone on in the UK, the popularity of Mr. Trump, he's gone down by 3 points because they're using that guy, right, of what he talked the people into doing, closing the border. Basically, I agree with what you said at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was being facetious.
I thought, thank you, because that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
and also,
that's what they're saying.
The headline the next day was, oh my goodness, people in England can be as dumb as Americans after all.
But they're not dumb. You guys are wrong. I cannot blame the people. The people are only as good as the information they're fed. Leaders are supposed to lead. They led everybody down the path of shit. With this fear mongering.
What about what Bill said earlier?
You got a guy who's a regular guy, gets up at fucking 5 a.m, has his breakfast, packs his lunch, and goes to work like a dog all day, right? He listens to these guys, these bullshitters, these bag of wins, these carnival salesmen that they call politicians.
Sure.
And this guy is telling everybody, oh my God, we got to do this. The European common market is destroying us. It's destroying our values. It's destroying and we're spending over 330 million pounds per week when that should go in our medical system. It should go in our infrastructure, right? So people say, why the fuck are we in there if our benefit is a negative rather than a positive?
Now, Bill, were you joking before when you said 85% of the people who voted for Brexit, voted to get out, have an IQ of, what was it?
80.
I don't think that was an accurate figure,
Right.
but it was a generalized reflection of the mentality of those people.
Here.
I disagree, Billy, because I think that those people looked to a leader and a leader led them down the path, and that's the way it is.
They're ill-informed, Frank, and an IQ is a combination of inherited intelligence and information. And most of those people who voted lack information except for that which their political lean might swing them.
That's exactly my point.